Hi everyone, it's Killshot from 99 Gaming. It's The Walking Dead Season 8 finale fan reactions, and this is our wrap-up for tonight. It has been a crazy, crazy long day. It started with The Walking Dead Junkies, and we did a Fear kickoff, then we did the Walking Dead Countdown, and I have to tell you, I am extremely proud of the 999 Army. Over the last couple weeks, we've done some bold predictions. Some of those predictions were absolutely right on. I'm not taking credit for those because you guys are right there at the forefront. I'm going to talk about a couple of those tonight and my reaction to them. The rumor/spoilers had its moment. It was close, not 100%. So, you know, people are very tight-lipped about what went on tonight. The second lineup never came to play, but what happened was exactly what was talked about that would happen is the exploding bullets. So just a lot of emotions at this point with both shows. I want to thank all of you guys for being here, for staying up super late in some parts, some early in some parts. Some people are just getting home from the theater, and you know, appreciate everybody being a part here. I saw Scott did a super chat pretty early on. Can't make the episode, but hopefully, Scott, you liked Fear and you'll watch the playback and join us. But thank you so much. I'll read a super chat. Says not going to be able to be here. Just wanted to give my gratitude to Kills, the moderators, and everyone else in the stream for making this hobby worth it. Thanks, everyone, and I will continue being involved in our stream. So appreciate Scott and his presence jumping in here. And also, I saw was it Crawfish? Where's Lieutenant Crawfish? There he is. His theory about Maggie being alpha could really happen. That was probably something pretty epic. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw it out for the group. Just so you guys know, this is a unfiltered, raw reaction. So it's going to be some of my feelings about this show tonight, and I want to get some of yours, your reactions, just what you thought about it. The first question I'm going to ask everybody is, what was the most surprising, what was the most shocking part about tonight's episode to you? And I'm going to read a couple comments. So let me know what sort of blew your mind a little bit. I know a lot of it was rumored, and a lot of it was, you know, it did happen that way, but I'm interested to see what you guys think about it. Jenna says nothing. Ron Burgundy says the throat cut scene, that it did play out. Yeah, I know we talked about it being similar to the comic. Zay Johnson, Rick not getting injured. Yeah, there was a lot of talk about Rick breaking his leg, and no issue. Joe Fulford says no helicopter. There you go. Jamie, we're on the same page here. Jamie Krysick says Maggie plotting against Rick and Michonne. That was definitely, and Tom Ramondelli says Maggie, Jesus, and Daryl. Yeah, Jesus looks like he has a little bit of a dark streak, right? That he's pretty loyal. Daryl as well. Maybe a potential fallout between Daryl and Rick. And the fact that Daryl exiled Dwight. You'd think that Rick might take him in at some point. Caleb Shireman with a super chat. Thank you so much, Caleb. Moderators, you can check out, see if Caleb has a follow-up question. Would definitely like to give him a little bit of attention, but certainly thank you. Lieutenant Crawfish says Father G starting to get some of his eyesight back. Miracles. Miracles are happening, right? Some of the bad shooting around the hilltop. Yeah. Well, you know, she did include Jesus in the plan, but she kind of stroked his ego a little bit first by saying, you know, you were right to leave those people alive. You're right to, you know, leave the saviors alive and not kill them. But Negan, you're wrong about. She was very emphatic about that. What's up, John Brody? Thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you guys being here for the reaction video. So once again, I'm going to go through a little bit of our lineup for the week. So we're going to be crossing over a lot of it ourselves because we've got Fear, we've got the ending of Walking Dead, and we'll have some theories out there all throughout the week, but also we're going to do a lot of chat with Fear. So tomorrow night will be recaps for probably both episodes, and then Tuesday night we'll have some different topics, and by midweek we're going to talk about Fear full scale. I do want to give Fear its opportunity, so we'll touch on just some reactions from that tonight. But really, for me, this is more about The Walking Dead, at least tonight. And then we'll get into some fear. So we got Sergeant Chosen One. Maria Bello didn't show up. Yeah. Season 9, right? Oceanside with the cocktails. So I'm going to say this one more. I'm going to ask this question one more time. I do want to get the pulse of the group. I'm going to get that 1 second because we got Jake from State Farm at 3 a.m. My prediction almost came true about Morgan killing Henry. They shouldn't have cut commercial for Rick Negan fight scene. Ruin the flow. I'm going to agree with both of those. I remember that prediction, and I was like, but you know what, Jake? Your prediction was still kind of right. See, we'll give you partial credit because your prediction was that Morgan would kill Henry, and then that would be the reason that Morgan left. But I think you're right. I think that is the reason that Morgan left is because he almost killed Henry. So close enough. We'll go with that. So, you know, this was one of those, you know how we do some predictions, and I'm not talking about spoilers, because we know spoilers are out there, and the Spoiling Dead's fan page, and there's a lot of groups that do provide us with some good information, and some individual people that do wish not to be named. I'm not going to go through that either. But there are some weeks where we do a prediction, and it is like on the money. This was one of those weeks where it was close on a lot of things. And, you know, I think even a couple weeks ago we talked about Negan being locked up and they would keep him alive. I think that was my prediction, though. I'm going to take credit for that one. And I said if it does happen that way, they would keep him alive just to use him as an example. I mean, I made several predictions, so I'm sure there's some that are right and some that are just like completely backwards and wrong. But it was pretty detailed conversation, and we said, well, you know, maybe they'll just keep him there and show him what not to do to keep everybody else in focus. And that's exactly what they said. And he is going to rot in jail. I expected them to lock him up and use him as an example. I didn't really know they would kind of be there just grilling him like that and choking him. So you can see there's still a lot of hard feelings. And maybe that'll be what smooths things over at some point between Maggie and Rick, that, hey, I'm keeping him alive as an example, not because I like him, but Maggie just wants him dead. She's not going to sleep easy until he is dead. Let's see. Let me get a couple more comments here. Texas Girl 38 might be new to the stream. So why so much hate for Maggie? Negan killed Glenn, her husband, weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know I would call it hate for Maggie. I think that Maggie's just she's in a dark place. And we're going to see how her character transitions. Reading through a couple comments here. And you know what? I'm going to take this moment just for a couple things. One, we got a couple hundred people here, so I appreciate everybody being here. If you're brand new to our live streams and 999 channel, give us a quick 999 in chat. I do want to do a special shout out while we're getting to a couple more of the reaction videos, because as I said, I've got a whole list of notes, and we will do our complete recap tomorrow. Tomorrow is a little longer video. These usually, the reactions are about 20-25 minutes. I want to get a few more comments in here. But tomorrow will definitely be more of a recap, and we'll talk about different plots, different storylines, all of the above. So I can see a couple people here. We got Brenda Vickers. Thanks for being here tonight. Not Jimmy, #1. Thanks for being here. Devin Holland. Texas Girls, fairly new. Dawn of the Frank. I saw you a couple times, Dawn of the Frank. Tina Waters. Lou F., thanks for being here. Rick Florence. So a lot of new faces. Thank you for being a part. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Also, you can see in the bottom right corner, we have a Facebook fan page, which is The Walking Dead Army. I'd love to have you guys over there as well. We'll post some of our chats. But we're going to continue this for the next couple months. So I know in the past couple years, we had a little bit of an off season and went back to some gaming and some other topics. But Fear looks really, really legit. So you got Crawfish with another super chat. Will Negan get out with good behavior? Parole board? I don't think so, Crawfish. I think I don't think it has anything to do with his behavior. I, I do think that we're going to get to a point like we talked about on the Junkies chat today that they're going to need Negan at some point when when a bigger enemy comes into play. So if that is the Whispers, is the next major storyline, then they may need all the badness that they can possibly get. So it doesn't look like that right now. And I was going to ask you guys a quick semi-survey question before we got to Super Chat. So here we go. How many people in this group have forgiven Eugene at this point? And I missed a Super Chat, so thanks for reminding me of that. I'm going to scroll up. Oh, I'm definitely going to go back to that. That's my boy Pete D. Sorry, Pete D, I missed you. But we're going to comment on that. The reason I'm doing this is because we've done different surveys, and a strong percentage of you. All right, I see a couple people saying, not me. You're holding on to it. I get it. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. Just give it up. Give it up. We went through a lot of this where we did a little bit of the survey. It was 50%, then it was 60%, and then some people said, I'm never going to do it. I can do predictions, and I can be wrong from time to time. So if you are starting to forgive Eugene, and a week ago you said you wouldn't, I did say I would call you out on it. I didn't keep a list. I didn't screenshot it. But I'm going to tell you what. There's a whole lot more of you right now that are saying, yeah, Eugene's okay. Yeah, Eugene's a hero. So. You guys that are watching this playback, first of all, the people that are new know that, don't know this, but the people who are part of the 99 Army know it is my cat's birthday. So he's wondering why we're doing live streams for 12 hours today. And we're almost winding down. On top of that, we got like it's almost 1 a.m. and we got a crazy thunderstorm going on. So there's some major stuff going down. And this is the reaction video. Hold on, got you a poster, Kills. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody got a special edition poster from the movie theater. Thank you. We're getting happy birthday wishes for Morris. I appreciate that, and he appreciates it. He's going to appreciate it a lot more when we finish this reaction video. It has been a crazy long day. So, all right, look, I will not give up on the Eugene situation. I like to ask you guys questions and sort of put you on the spot with that. Another follow-up question for everybody. How do you like the fact that Rick saved Negan? Be honest. Don't give me your reaction because it worked in the writing, and I think the writers did do a good job. I want to know your true reaction when you saw the throat cut and then you saw Rick say to Sadiq, save him. Now Yo Gaming says hated it. Jack Balam says it sucks. Nightwolf loved the scene. Nikki S. loved it. Vector, I think most of us kind of know that from the comics. It's not about the comics. Just, it's such a tired, and I don't want to call you out, really pick on you, but it's just you hear that so much, like read the comics, read the comics. This is what happened in the comics. The TV show is a separate version, and I think we've sort of learned that from the Carl death. So, I mean, I could kind of bounce back and say, well, read the comics. What happened to Carl? And, it's totally different vibe. Sorry, but it's just when I see that, it kind of blows my mind at this point. Denise Hopkins says, hate it, dumb move. Alicia said it was confusing. Well, Lonnie says, I enjoyed watching Negan die. Almost. Tracy liked it, liked the storyline. It is. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be reference points and there's going to be things, but especially with a new showrunner, um, I do feel like they're going to take it in a totally different direction. We're going to see maybe a dark Maggie, or maybe they're not called the Whispers. Who knows? I mean, there will be reference points, but I do think that there were people also very surprised by the Negan scene. I was surprised. I mean, I knew in the comics that Rick cut Negan's throat. It still kind of it shocked me that it happened that way, that they actually carried through and followed up on it. So I do think, and to Vector's point, to this point, when it happens in the comics, it might be more of a surprise that they did go along with that script, as opposed to where we kind of assumed it was going to happen a certain way before. Yep, I agree with that, Vector. I think the Maggie Daryl Jesus thing is good writing. I know a lot of people want everything to be happy and kumbaya and just going to be great, but I think it was great writing. I think that there needs to be some internal strife there. I'm okay with one of the predictions that I'd made, and I'll hold tight with it. I did think that Daryl and Dwight would go out and try to find Sherry. I wasn't totally right on that. I mean, Daryl did let him go, but he did give him the keys and said, go find Sherry. So not the way I thought it was going to go down, but who knows? Who knows what will happen to them in the future? So Dwight is out there looking, and apparently she's there. She wrote him a note, honeymoon. Let's see for the group. Couple more questions here. Best, let me get your reaction to what was the most memorable lines from tonight's show? Whose dialogue, whose speech, what stood out the most to you? Eugene, Rick's speech at the end, Morgan's speech. So we got some votes for Maggie. Yes, I agree with that. I've seen several people chime in and say Jerry. I thought Jerry, just a couple lines there where Jerry said, we're not accepting shit and we're not losing shit. That was great. It was so Jerry, but it had a touch of Abraham mixed into it. I really, really, love Jerry's little bit of dialogue there. See, I'm going to read through a couple more reactions here. We've got Aaron says, Rick telling Carl he remembers. Yeah, there were some moving scenes too. I don't know if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago we did talk about how the Carl grief has been sort of split out, and it did seem like Rick, he got some closure. Jeremiah Lawson says, I'm bigger, I'm badder, and I got a bat. That was good too, and Rick... one more reaction here. Did you guys think that Negan was going in for a hug? Yes or no? Getting close enough to kill Rick, going in for a hug, ready to negotiate and end the war. What did you think about that scene with Rick and Negan right before he got his throat slashed? Ultra Groove says yes. Aaron says, I thought so. I thought, it's getting a little touching. He's not going to finish this count. Pretty creative, though. I mean, Rick, Rick used every tool in the bag. Yeah, he was definitely touched up. And then, you know, you think it's the two of them fighting, and you turn around and like, wow. Okay, let me group reaction here. I got a couple more, and then we'll wind this down because I want to save a lot of stuff. We're going to do a complete recap tomorrow. How about Laura's surrender? Did I did not think it was a true surrender, because what I'm doing is I'm looking at the time, like how much time is left. Is there time for them to, you know, deceive them? Is there another trick in the book? What's going to happen? So when Laura put the gun down, that was like, wait a minute, really? She's giving up? Yeah, I thought it was too quick. That's why I think I got a couple messages from people, and they said they thought the episode was a little rushed. I like it because there were several things that happened that caught me off guard. And even if there would have been more spoilers out there, these were the small details that I don't think would have made it through. Deidre Perkins said she still wanted to slap her. That's funny. Father G. I mean, Negan's going to shoot Father G. Popped his hand while he was... So, let me transition over to a super chat. I've got a pretty good Negan conversation I want to start off with you guys. So Epic Vid said, it was unnerving how Rick sliced his throat and made it seem like Rick did the same thing that he did in the bar, gaining trust only to betray it. You know, Morgan called him out for that. I was a little surprised by that as well. Epic Vids, here's the thing, and I know this because I walk this delicate line with a lot of our viewers on a pretty regular basis. I think it's a valid point, but I think when you say something like that, and I'm glad people are agreeing, because the diehard fans, and I don't mind, you know, we can debate, we can analyze everything, but the diehard fans will say, well, Rick had a right to. That's the first thing that they say. But he doesn't really have a right to. It's not Rick's character to fight dirty. I mean, I guess he can. And when I say that, I get the pushback like, all's fair, you know, love and war. But you get used to a certain character with Rick, and it is so much different, and it's hard to feel it. It's hard to totally believe it. So one of the things that we did talk about in the countdown earlier tonight, and this will probably tag along a little bit with what you're talking about, Epic, is you could see on the look on Morgan and Rick's face that the bloodlust did not get the job done. So Rick was looking for another way, or I think he went there with the idea of killing Negan, but it was still playing in the back of his mind that he knew even killing Negan wasn't going to get the job done. And then he just told everybody point blank, go home. You know, they're going to build partnerships. He's going to show them what a real leader is going to be like. Now Yo Gaming will say, will we see an attempt to get Negan out of jail? I don't think so. I don't think the Saviors want to work for him. I think you'll see more of an attempt to kill him. That's going to be more of the issue I would be worried about. And I do have to go to Pete D's epic comment, because you guys know we've been going back and forth with this for a long time. So Pete D did the super chat and said, Tara lives for now, but you know what? There's always maybe. I was expecting something a little bit more epic out of Tara. So I'm still kind of in the same thing, like, okay, yeah, it's something. Maybe Tara will get the Whisper death. All right, we're going to get a few more reactions in here. I guess Adrian is not a big fan of the show. How will it work after the war? You mean Rick following Maggie? I think that's going to be a tough relationship. I mean, Rick thinks everything's good or good enough. I know he knows Maggie's happy with it, but he seems like the relationship is there. Maggie has a whole different agenda. No Chopper. But Jadis is still in play. One more question for the group. Level of surprise that Jadis is going to go back and join up with Rick. Or that Jadis' real name is Ann. Ann with an E. Whoa, look at the group. Group is jumping on that early. I got at least 4. You mean Ann's. Okay, I'm sure I'm going to get a few more. AJ Jepson says, not surprised at all, saw it coming. Expected. Oh, Rick Florence says he sees a Ann and Eugene relationship in the future. All right, and we have about 1 more minute, I think, before the audience probably falls asleep. So several new people here tonight. I'm going to get one or two last comments in here. I would ask all of you guys, we've had probably anywhere between 700 and 800 people in and out the door since we've done this stream, so pretty large stream tonight. Thank you for being here. I'd love if you guys would all slap that like button. When this video goes live, make sure you get over, leave a lot of comments. Let me know what surprised you, what you liked about tonight's episode. I had several people message me on Kick and said this was the best one of the season. I liked it as well, too. I'm going to sort of have to absorb everything that happened, and that'll be a little bit more of the recap tomorrow night. We'll go kind of step by step. I got 5 pages worth of notes, so we're going to talk about some of the different plot lines, and also we will react to Fear, what we thought about that, but just for sake of time, we're going to wind this thing down. I want to thank everybody. It's been a super, super long day. Appreciate everything that you guys do. The sponsors of the channel, the super chatters, always a pleasure with you guys. The Patreons, thank you for your thoughts, your comments, everything that you do to contribute to building this channel. And I'm going to ask you guys just really quickly to give me a quick 999 so we can get some shout outs before we close down this video. I want to say thanks to Aragorn, the Catnat, Sergeant Chosen One. Thank you. Shanna Garza says, love the channel. Thank you, Shannon. Love you being here as well. Matthew Howard, LH Star, Ron Burgundy, Marla Hatton, Vector, thank you for being here, Jamie Kreisik, Hunter Roll, Marcus Martinez, Aaron Ann with an E, there you go, Red Razzle, Joe Fulford, Cammie, Dawn of the Frank, Angela Lewis, Madam Traber, Michelle M., Nightwolf, Rick Fisher. Who else we got here? We got a ton of people here tonight. NS4 Gaming, Freeland 256, Tracy Lynn. A lot of you guys are watching this from the theater, so thank you. Fluff Salisbury, thanks for being here. Paranormal, good to see you. Mitch True, thank you. Liz Burnett. Gina Croc. Thank you, Gina Crockett. Lieutenant O.U. Crawfish with the ELO. Somebody's sucking up to a moderator. Ace Man, Ruben Hernandez, Brenda Vickers, moderators, Bree, Emmy, Steph, Tommy, and Kells. Wonderful job. Special shout out to the moderators, everybody. I mean, they've been here for all 4 of these streams as well. They put in a super, super long day, so appreciate the moderators being here. Nikki S., good luck tomorrow with your trip to the doctor. Hopefully everything goes well. Alicia James, thank you. And this is not an ending, everybody. This is a beginning. We will talk about Walking Dead full force for the next couple weeks, and we'll have Walking Dead news, but we're also going to keep and really spark the fire for Fear of the Walking Dead. Very good episode tonight. If I missed you in a shout-out, I can't get everybody in. It's just a ton of people tonight. Be here at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. We will do a full recap. Looking forward to your thoughts, your comments, once we've had about 18 hours to sort of think things through. Thanks, everybody. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Peace.